Hello, everyone. This is Robin Shockley with Focus Forward with Robin on the go, and you never know where I'm going to be. I'm here at Sam's Town Casino and Hotel, and I'm here for the living legend celebrity roast of Mr. John Natividad. But I'm here right now with Professor Gary Lee.
Hi, Robin.
Hi, Gary. It's such a pleasure to be able to be here to interview you.
Well, welcome to Las Vegas.
Welcome to Las Vegas. What happens in Vegas
Stays in Vegas.
Yes, let me tell you guys, this is my dad, Professor Gary Lee, and I'm so excited to be here with him to present the Professional Maximizer Awards tonight at this banquet. We are getting ready, so you might see some activity going on in the background, but I just want to take a few moments with you to talk about this event tonight. Tell me why we're doing this event.
Well, John Natividad was one of the greatest fighters that we ever had in America. And he was known as the Giant Killer. So I've gathered his friends and his family and black belts to come in to celebrate his career.
Oh, I love it. I love it. So tell us, this is actually a fundraiser as well, right?
Right. This is our 20th anniversary for the Sport Karate Museum and our annual fundraiser.
Wow, that's amazing. You've been doing this for how many years ago?
20 years.
20 years. Now, we were just in September, we were honoring you at your celebrity roast. The History Journals wanted to do that.
Black Belt Magazine has called this a double Hawaiian whammy because they get to honor two Hawaiian boys.
I love it in 1 year. And actually, you get a half Hawaiian to get to join in to do a selective interview with you.
Yes.
I feel so honored.
We had a great time today. We had a black belt test. Lorenzo Sandoval tested for 4-3 black belt, and it was a standing board only. Linda Pugizzi, David Brock, Mark Shuey, Garrett Lee, Jim Butcher. We had a great time.
That's awesome. Now, Gary, let's talk about some of the things that's going on. What do we have planned for tonight?
Well, I gave away 100 of these movies away. The new gladiators starred John Natividad, Ron Marchini yesterday and today, and we're having a big banquet and all the ceremony awards, the Joe Louis Memorial Awards, the Ed Parker Mahalo Awards. Everybody's celebrating 20 years of the Sport Karate Museum. This
is amazing. So if people want to get in touch with you and they want to make a contribution to the Sports Karate Museum, what would they need to do?
They go to www.sportkaratemuseumarchives.com or call 713-483-0476.
Wow, I'm so excited to be here. We are in Las Vegas, guys. Las Vegas, Nevada. We're here at the Sam's Town Casino. We're getting ready to have a great banquet tonight. It's buffet style, which is going to be amazing. I'm so excited. Have you been gambling any?
No, but we're going to be on Facebook Live tonight with the whole roast and the show. So stay tuned to Facebook Live.
Yes, and where are we going to be coming from so people can go on and follow it?
It'll be on Jason Brooks' site.
Jason Brooks' site. And also, you can go to Robin Shockley's page, and I will have it on my site as well.
Okay, yeah.
All right, guys. Well, before we end this, can you say something positive to somebody? Because you've been through a thing this year. This has been a big transition for you. It's been an exciting year, but also you've gone through something very, very, very powerful, which is a stroke that you are overcoming. Say something positive to our viewers to say how you chose to focus forward and encourage somebody else to do the same.
Well, the power of God is amazing. John had heart problems and I had a stroke, but we decided to go through with this because we own it. We owe it to the pioneers and the legends to honor sport karate in America. So we're here for you guys.
I love it. I love it. Guys, this is Robin Shockley with Focus Forward Robin on the go. You never know where I'm going to be. Remember, if you think a thing, you will believe a thing. If you believe a thing, you're going to do it. Just like Professor Gary Lee's doing here today. I love you.
I love you.
My background started with my father. He was from Arkansas, and when I was about around 4 years old, he started teaching me just hand techniques and things like that. In the backwoods where he lived, they did a thing that was called slap fighting. And they would slap and see who had the most strength and the speed and so forth. Okay, well, he taught me that in my youth. My mother and father, they were divorced when I was 5. And then I wound up with an abusive stepfather. We wound up moving to the Samoan Islands, and I was still very young. So my official martial arts started around 1957 in the Samoan Islands. And then, the guys that did the Korean styles, the Tang Sudo and Muay
Never
Thai,
pull my guitar or the pepper spray or whatever if I didn't have to. Taser. Okay. I tried to implement all of the things I had learned throughout my martial arts experience. So the martial arts has made me who I am. Law enforcement made my life for me, and so forth. So, the bottom line is get disqualified in a lot of the tournaments because it was sport, and I understood it. Then I started entering the police games. And the police games have some very unique athletes in fighting. Ray Sewell is one of them. He was LAPD, and he was also international champion. So we had some very good fighters in the police games. Well, through the 80s, I won numerous gold medals in California. And then I was invited here to Nevada as a guest, and I won the gold medal here. And all in the same week, I won the World Championships, which was held in Phoenix. So my background in the martial arts and the things you'll see me emphasize the most is law enforcement, because that's who I am. I teach battered women's shelters, I teach rape prevention, active shooter scenarios, all of those kind of things. But I teach the street. I love the sport because it's so meaningful. And what Gary Lee is doing here, and the history of the museum, we need to keep that going. That's why my guy Dylan, he's 18, right? That's why I want to bring him in, because we got to keep these young people thinking and doing the right things that has to do with tradition. And I'm not trying to put any particular group down, but I don't like things that teach a bully mentality when people are trash talking each other to fight each other. To me, you go in and show your business in the ring, period. That being said, a lot of people want my guy Dylan to go into the MMA or kickboxing business. So this, I told him, you know what? I go, your mind is too good to do this. I go, there's people that are meant for it. I go, you do so many things well. You're blessed by God. And as the young lady said before, and there's the prayer that said, I'm a Christian. Okay? I don't put anybody down about anything. But my group, what I chose for my logo is the lynx cat, because they're called the spirit of the force, like the specter of the force. They're real quiet when they have to hunt and get food. They do their business and they disappear. Okay, and then my slogan is the polite animal. Okay, and all that means is you're polite, you're good to people, you will even bend over backwards. But if somebody twists you to a point where you have to defend yourself and your family, we're talking about serious bodily injury or life, then you turn into an animal. Because that's the only way that you're going to succeed and get out of it. Doesn't mean you can't go right back to where you were. Okay? But you have to be devastating. And the ladies especially, when I teach them, you can't try to punch it out with a guy. Right? I mean, for the most part. So the bottom line is you have to be effective, you have to be decisive, and you have to have this winning mind all the time. And, if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask me. I can talk about the martial arts and how it got me into law enforcement. And I met my wife on the foot meet. I volunteered with the foot meet in Bakersfield because Fidel Castro had made a deal with Jimmy Carter. I don't know if you folks remember that. And we took all of his prisoners, the worst prisoners that they had in Cuba, and brought them to the United States. Well, a good group of that came to Bakersfield. And over in the old Bakersfield downtown district was kind of like the Mission District. They had railroad tracks and all that. My man over there, Rick Fowler, he was a police officer in Bakersfield with me, and he also worked with the railroad. So he can vouch and for everything that I'm telling you here right now. But the bottom line is, when these guys were set loose, they were killing each other with butcher knives and everything over a cigarette. You know, so the business people out there were very uneasy. So I volunteered to be out there, what was it, 3.5 years? 3.5 years and walk that beat and clean it up. And, I was by myself. And the bottom line is you have to do it with the right mentality. You have to be good to people. You know, if I pick somebody up, ideally I talk to them in handcuffs. And I can usually do that. But if somebody would turn on me, boom, just like that, I take care of business, I was right back to where I was. Well, getting back to how I met my wife, which is where I started, is I was walking this Swiftie, and she worked in one of the floral shops up there. We got to know each other over years, and fell in love. I proposed to her, and wound up taking her in a limo out to the lake, dusk, and all that, and that was history, you know. And going back to what the young lady said before me about the Native Americans. Okay, my wife is Cherokee, Choctaw, and Blackfeet. A little bit of Irish. And that's a combination, and you got to deal with it as well. I'll tell you, because she's feisty, but she's my heart. You know, and she backs me in everything I do, and she'll be here tomorrow to be at the banquet and go from there. But you know, I just want to give you a little bit of who I am, because a lot of people have no idea, and that's okay. You know, I wouldn't be here right now. I don't go out looking for Hall of Fames. I don't do any of that kind of thing. But when I talk to Gary, Professor, about John Natividad first, because John Natividad and I know each other very well, because when I used to be with Joe Lewis, we used to fight the Norris Cruise and all that all the time down there in Sherman Oaks and Redondo Beach and Torrance and all that. He asked, he wanted to know more about my background because he just heard my name. So when I told him, he invited me to be a history general. Okay, I didn't go looking for that, and that's why I accepted it. So I think being humble, sometimes you got to put yourself out there of who you are. But for me, that's secondary. I like the humbleness, and but when I start talking about it, you know how much I love it, right? All right. If there's no other questions, I pretty much finished up on this. I don't know how much time is left. Go, Gary. Hello. How much time do I have left? 10 minutes? Okay. Yeah, so, you know, I'll talk a little bit more, unless you guys are bored to death. You know, I fought, when I was on the Tracy team, and that's the Tracy elite, the checkered knees came out and all that, and that was almost like wearing a badge when you're in the military, a special badge, wearing that checkered knee when Joe introduced it with Al Tracy. And I wound up, when I was 17, I was turning 18, fighting and going to Baltimore, Philadelphia, West Virginia, and then we wound up fighting in New York City, and it was the East Coast versus the West Coast team, and they had a good team, but you talk about some crazy fighters. I mean, there were people trying to punch you over the top of your head and things like that. But it was good. It was very good. Mr. Urban and a bunch of the people back there treated us all very well. And then I wound up going to St. Paul, Minneapolis, and instructing there and teaching for one of the guys there. I taught for Dick Willett at the Tracy School in Long Beach, California for a long time. and then I opened a school in my own school in Torrance. I opened 2 schools in Bakersfield. I had a school in Las Vegas here when I moved here. I started doing personal protection work. I did personal protection work here, and I started anybody you can think of in the old days. You know, everybody. You know, Sinatra, the Patty Hearst got out of prison. The Muhammad Ali fight, I was a guard on the first 6 rows. I was taking care of all of them. As a young man, I was blessed because I wound up with the best instructor in the world. And it was by chance. I'll tell you a little story about the first time I fought Joe Bush. This was at the way of Japan in Fresno. And I was 14. I weighed probably 110 pounds. Watched James Pacific. He was having everybody spar with him. Right, and he would use that phrase for sidekick when he does that initial step. And you know, he'd grab somebody, kick him in the tournament, the international, and knock them into the stands, and he'd still be holding their feet on, right? So all of the young people in there that he was having come up against him, as soon as he came out on the floor, they'd almost run out in front of the dojo. And so my turn came up. And when he pounced at me, he reached out to grab me, and I grabbed his arm and wrapped my leg over the top of his arm, and he lifted me up off the ground, and I'm hitting him in the head like this. And when we were done, he goes, "I like you. We're gonna do some more of this." Okay, we're good. So you know, that was just a little bit of story. If any of you would like to talk to me, we're going to be autographing tonight, and then. Tomorrow, I don't know, I think I might be part of the verse, talk about what John did and some other things on that. So, yeah, say another special prayer for him that everything goes good, okay? God bless you all.
All right. I'm glad you're having fun.
good news and bad news. The bad news is John fainted 2 days ago and was put in the hospital. So the good news is we're going to be live on Facebook tonight. So you need to be loud and rowdy. Please. He's watching from his hospital room, and we might have a surprise tonight. So just keep your fingers crossed. But other than that, we're live on Facebook. I want to welcome everybody to the 20th anniversary of the Sport Karate Museum and the celebrity roast of our friend John Natividad. Give it up for him, John. You know, our friends at Bravo Magazine, which is owned now by Century, they said this is a double Hawaiian whammy, celebrating 2 Hawaiians. And I happen to be one of them. I'm very lucky to be in a position to have a hero like John Natividad. But before we do anything, I would like to have my dear friend Leonard Wayne and Mr. Bob Animal Mitchell come up forward, please. Give it up for them. These are bad, bad dudes. So they love the Lord, and they're going to share with you and open with prayer for us. Is this on?
Yes, you got to speak
Directly into it. Can we all take a moment and realize how blessed we are to be here? Not on? Not on? I got it. Shall we bow our heads? Dear Heavenly Father, Almighty Healer, we ask that you touch Grandmaster Natividad and continue to heal him. We give you thanks in advance for the miracle we get to witness. Bless us tonight with fellowship and love and memories of good things and not bad. Continue to lead, guide, and direct. And we ask this in Yeshua's name, King of Kings, Lord of Lords, Christ our Savior. Amen.
Okay, see if I'm on. Anyway, I wrote this a few years ago, and this really, I'd like to just dedicate it to John, because it really is him, really, and the way that he's lived his life. Champions in life. Being a champion in life can only be achieved by your own positive influence you have with others and your relationship with God. I have found that the journey is quite an experience, taking the negative things we have in the past and turning them into a positive manuscript to live by. No one is perfect, and each one of us must push back the pride in order to be humble. It's one thing to be happy with your own achievements, but it is a thin line that we walk in order to be a leader. This is not just martial arts, but this is for the general. This in general, being a leader in your family, among your friends, your co-workers, and your community starts with a positive influence you have with others in life and ends with a personal relationship with Jesus Christ. This is the greatest trophy in all, the trophy that makes you a champion. John Natividad was a champion. He was one of the only, he was a champion. But he wasn't just a champion in martial arts, because he was an influence on all of us who fought him and who actually knew him as a person. A lot of us, we went through our martial arts days of basically living our lives as a movie, and we were, like I tell people, I was in a movie. I was in my own movie, and I was putting on an act, being tougher than I really was in my heart. And a lot of us, that's what we did. We fought really, like we were animals. And this influence of Mr. Parker, Mr. Parker used to call me his animal. I don't eat meat. Actually, in my heart, man, I did have love for others. And the people who personally knew me knew that I was a person that really, was kind inside. But I had this thing going where I thought I had to act tough and just push people around and just really just be a different person than what I really was. And unfortunately, because so many guys like John Natividad had so much technique and so good. A lot of you guys, had so, you were champions way back then. And unfortunately for myself and a lot of us, we got to the point where as we got older, the trophies that we had meant nothing. And then finally we realized that the trophies that we really carry were the trophies that we had with our students and watching them turn into champions in life. And it's all, every single instructor in here, their biggest trophy is what you've done for kids and your students. And you know what? There's so many masters and there's so much knowledge in this room. It's just unbelievable. It's just a privilege for me to just even be here. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Thank you. I would like my lovely singer for the national anthem. Come here, please. Little Ella. Aaron. I'm sorry, Aaron. Aaron, where are you at, honey?
Hello.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched, where so gallantly streamed and rockets ringing, the bumpers singing in, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Love you, John. John, young lady, John, Natividad wants to give you something from John. Mr. Rob Mancini would like to present a present for John to the young lady.
Well, Grandmaster Natividad, I talked to him, and this is one of our star students as well. So not only is she a student, she's an up-and-coming martial artist, and Master Natividad had this trophy made for her in thanks for this beautiful song.
Thank you, Rob. Colonel Phil Torres. Colonel Phil Torres, please come here. Ladies and gentlemen, Colonel Phil Torres is in charge of my military awards, and he's a retired colonel, Silver Star winner. He's going to lead us into the Pledge of Allegiance.
Good evening, everyone. We live in the greatest country known to mankind, and we don't want to take that for granted. So join me in the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Museum years and years ago, but we have honored you from him personally. Mr. Patrick McCarthy, please give it up.
Can you hear me? Hello? Kumbawa. Ladies and gentlemen, masters, grandmasters, friends, colleagues, and fellow competitors. It's a privilege to be here tonight. I'd like to first just take a moment to acknowledge the contributions of Grandmaster John Natividad. It's too bad he can't be with us tonight, but I know he's certainly here in spirit. And with any luck, technology, he'll be with us a bit later as well. I guess I've known Gary Lee for the better part of 3 decades. And we had a very close mutual friend, Sid Campbell. And after Sid passed away, and Gary took the reins of the group, our organization, which deals largely with the anthropology of our tradition, not so much its competitive aspect, we're so taken by the contributions of this young man that we decided to award him our Historian of the Year award. I'd just like to take a moment and read it if I could. The International Karate Research Society is pleased to name Professor Gary Lee its 2010 recipient of our Historian Award. His dedication to the sport, valuable contributions, and ongoing efforts to study, preserve, and promote both its practice and the American cultural heritage has been exemplary. As an ambassador for the American Fighting Arts, we congratulate and wish Professor Lee the very best of luck in his continued work. And the fighting arts condition the body, cultivate the mind, and nurture the spirit in an effort to improve its health, its holistic purpose, better prepare one to protect themselves, its defensive application, build moral character, its social aim, discover and overcome the source of human weakness, its philosophical nature, and to know inner peace, its spiritual essence. And that which tends to separate us is nowhere near as important as those things which bring us together. And nowhere is this more evident than in a tradition which challenges each of us every day. Just earlier in a conversation today, we talked about the importance of obtaining outcomes in life through the fighting arts. And liking the fighting arts to a pathway, I'm sure you'll all agree with me that it depends often how far down the pathway you get before it becomes evident. The destination is not really the goal. It is the journey. And with that in mind, I would like to present the professor with both of these awards. I lived in Japan for many, many years, and I had the opportunity to study at the Martial Arts University there. And I became a translator of sorts, and some of you are perhaps familiar with some of my work. And one of the most challenging piece of work I had the good fortune to undertake was a book called the Bubishi, which is I guess the only extant historical text that links the Okinawan / Japanese fighting arts back to China. And one of the most important messages that that book conveys is something that I had a chance to write today, and I'd like to also give it to Professor Lee. It reads, Kyudo Mugen. Kyudo Mugen refers to this pathway of learning, that there really is no end to it. And I think that the wonderful work that Professor Lee is doing certainly exemplifies this particular message, and I'd just like to present it to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. McCarthy. Now we're going to eat, but before we do, I've got in my mind, last year I had over 100 black belt women come and celebrate Mikey Rowe Moore's celebration of life. And I want to bring some women up here right now to recognize them, because I remember when there wasn't any women in karate. I'd like Jennifer Branch to come up. Chris Minshew come up. Cindy Peterson-Hara come up. Linda Pugisi come up. Come on, girls. Chris, where you at? Linda, where you at? Where's Chris Minshew? She's almost the tallest one. She always stands up there. And not by least, Miss Mikey Rowe Moore. Please step forward. Now, these women are from different decades, but because these women have changed our lives in sport karate, give it up for Chris Minshew, Jennifer Branch, Linda Pugisi, Cindy Peter-Hara, and Mikey Rowe Moore. Now, if there's some women out there I forgot, I apologize, but these 5 women are amazing women in the museum's life, and I appreciate them so much. One more hand for these women. Oh, wait, Sam, please. I didn't forget, I saved the best for last. My mouse, Grants, new lax, please step forward. You know there's a kata person. You know there's a kata person. But she can fight. I know she can fight. Give it up for Mouse. These are your women in sport karate. Thank you, ladies. Mikey, stay up, please. Mikey, please stay up. Can I put Mikey on the spot? I don't want that. But let me tell you something. For the couple years or years that she fought, she was a terror. And because of her, we have women in sport karate, we have women referees, and she's a hoot. I'd like for her to talk to John a little bit, and then we'll go on. Please, Mikey, say something about Johnny or something about women in karate.
He's told me I'm going to roast John, like when I walked in the door. I've been petting horses and drinking all day. So here we go. They called John Natividad the giant killer. I call John the sweetest man on the planet. He also was a lady killer. He was the 4F'er of all time. If y'all don't know what that means, I'm not explaining it now. There might be a kid in the room. Behind him was Jim Newton. And maybe George Minshew, I don't know. And for sure, Jerry Pittington. John was a great competitor, and he was so supportive of women. He used to mess with us and get us so mad when we got out there and fought the girls, because he'd like it. He knows I hate Mickey, but John gets to call me Mickey because I blew it off years ago. He used to have Howard Jackson calling me Mickey, Bob Burbish calling me Mickey, and anybody else that was buying it. And I have to punch him and tell him, no, it's Mikey. And he said, no, John said it was Mickey. Love him. Last week, I saw a post from Rob Mancini and his wife. We're in wine country, and they're showing food and wine, and I wouldn't just stop. I'm trying to lose some weight so I could stuff myself in this dress I bought last May for this robe. And John, being the sweetheart he is, says, you look great any way you are. You're beautiful. Put a moo-moo on and show up. That is Natividad, and this is my off. Am I done? I love John Natividad. And he knows that.
Throw more. Okay, we're going to eat here in just a minute, but I got 2 more things to do. First of all, my relationship is pretty simple. I'm from Hawaii, and I used to watch the samurai guys go out. I told Rob this story one time. I used to watch the samurais go out to the jungles, and they all come back bloody. I couldn't understand because none of them were really bad cut up or anything, but there's blood all over the hakama and stuff. So as a little kid, I followed them out into the jungle, and my sensei, Toshiro, had this shed with no windows, no air, and you go into the kata house. And Blattles would go in there and do kata. And I followed these samurai out to the jungle one day, and of course I was a little kid, I got caught. And what happens when you're a little kid and say you can't do it, you do it anyway. So I started crawling my hands and knees. I followed them out, Rob, and guess what I saw? They were meeting a Japanese guy that had pigs, and they would cut the pigs in half for the luau's. That's where the blood came from. And then, this is a funny part, John made the cover of a magazine. And I told Shishiro Sensei that I was about to go to the kata house and work kata. Of course, I hitchhiked to Honolulu and got the magazine. And I came back, and what people don't, well, since they knew about it, I took a spoon and I dug a hole in the house so I could watch the guys do kata. Because we didn't have mirrors back there or anything. So I had to do this kata for my test. And I told Toshiro that I was going to the kata house, but instead I hitchhiked to Honolulu and got the magazine. When I came back from the test, Toshiro Sensei said, Gary, how was the kata work? I said, it was good, Sensei. He said, Gary, don't say anything else, okay? I know about the hole. I said, yes, sir. I hitchhiked to Honolulu and got a magazine of John on the cover, and I did a little kata, but not much. But I had to go to hitchhike to Honolulu. And John was such a hero of mine. I opened up the first nightclub in Greenville, South Carolina called the Election Warehouse. And we used to have the Natividad workouts where I'd stack 10 of these or 5 of these chairs on top of one another. And on a dance floor, as you know, it has to be waxed all the time. I put a cup of beer and an empty hand cup on top of that cup. And the guys in they're not bouncers, but they're people that took care of me. I said, if you don't come to work out, the Natividad workout, I sign your checks, you won't get paid. Okay? They would come, and I taught them a spinning wheel kick, which was John's favorite kick. Wheel kick, and every time they knock off the beer top, not the bottom beer, it was cool. But every time they knock off that bottom beer cup, we had to stop and wax the dance floor. One day we did it 14 times. And finally one guy says, who in the hell is John Natividad? I said, you'll find out soon enough. So that's my roast on John. So one more thing and I will feed you guys. I'd like all the Sherman Oak Raiders to please come forward. Dexter, Barry, Wood, Michelle, Ken Firestone, Elvis. Come forward, guys. Come on, don't walk. Leo. One time we were the #1 team for 2 or 3 years. All my Raider buddies come forward. Elvis. Now, I'm going to say this again. I'm not bragging. I'm just making it clear. From point A to point B, I never had to pay anything. From the time I left my doorstep to the time I fought around the world, until I got back home, this man took care of me. And by the power of the Sherman Raiders and the History Generals, we'd like to recognize our coach, Bernie Pops Cranston, to come forward. Pops,
You can turn around, Hawaiian flash is talking to you. What? I'm right here, Pops. Okay, wait a minute. I want to tell you something. I'm talking for all of us. We appreciate you so much, and we love you. I never had to worry about expenses. All I did was train. And I told Butch a lot of times, I said, Butch, I don't know why you guys chose me, but you gave me so much time to train that I'd have to worry about money. And I appreciate you so much for the power of the museum and all of us. We'd like to promote you to honorary 10th degree black belt from Texas and from all of us in the formal. Serve Raiders, Pops, guys, give it up for them, guys. Thank you. You know we're missing Garrett Lee. Where's Garrett? Garrett was the youngest fighter on the team. Garrett, where you at? There you go. He was on the team at 7 years old. He was 4 years old. I'm sorry, Pops. 4 years old, the Sugar Oak Raiders.
Hey, Jamie. Sir. We know why we chose you. Because you were one of us.
Oh, I gotta say, to be a Raider, you had to have the potential to win a grand championship. You had to be voted in by everybody, not one person. And my best part, you had to be a little crazy. Okay, give it up for Sugar Raider, guys. Pop, tell them what this is. Tell them what this is.
Hello? 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 Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Anyways, we always, every year, at the end of the year, competition, I always say something special. It's on. Needs to speak into it. Something, talk into it? Okay. I had something special. And Gary's always asking me for, you know, made this T-shirt up. I made all sorts of T-shirts and stuff with the accomplishments of the team. So this was one I actually should have given to the museum a long time ago. And I happened to find it and I was going to wear it tonight. And I said, give it to Gary for his museum. Right? We will be sending other stuff from the team that people use. We're also going to send Butch's blade from all the times he missed. And cut himself, right? See, he was Mouse's instructor in the Kama, in Japanese Kama. He's cut himself, and he never did, and I could never figure out why they would give him first over her. Oh, that's right, he's Butch, I forgot.
Okay, thank you, Sherman Oak Raiders. I love you guys. Okay, we're going to start with tables 1 through 6. 1 through 6, you can start the buffet.
Table number 7. Number 22, go eat. number 11. Table number 11, get in line, please. Come on, we're going to lock some food for you guys to eat. We're almost halfway through. Table number 12. Table number 12. Table number 12. In line. Hello, back. Table number 12 in line, please. They have it organized. Table 13. Table 13. Get up at the buffet. Table 13 on the buffet, please. Saxophone player. Sir, saxophone player. Saxophone player. Ladies and gentlemen, we have word from John's daughter. Please pay attention. Hello! Please!
Hey, everybody, listen up. Nani girl's here. She just came from the hospital from Natividad. She has words from Natividad for everybody to hear. Please pay attention. Everybody, eyes up here. There you go.
Thanks, guys. For those of you that don't know who I am Dr. Brett's daughter, one of them. And I just wanted to come tonight on his behalf. Can you hear me now? Okay. To speak on his behalf. This was an event that you guys came from everywhere to see him. And I'm sorry if I've held it together for the last 72 hours, so if I get emotional. I'm sorry. But this event was super important to him, and he is very disappointed to not be here tonight. And just so you guys know, he tried up until 4 o'clock to get here. And I was going to go ahead and check him out just to be here if he wanted to do it that bad. But his body said no, he was just too tired. So, I appreciate you guys all coming from all over. This is definitely not the way that I wanted to meet most of you that he talks about so much and he loves. So it is great that you guys continue to do this. This is going to be something that we're videoing and he will look back on and he will laugh at the things that you say that are funny, which for some of you that know him, that will think this is hilarious. When he woke up, he wanted Coke this morning. And I don't give him that, but he absolutely tried to get a glass of Coke for me. So it's so important that you guys enjoy tonight, that you guys talk with amongst each other, that you share those memories and the stories that you share here, because this will be something that he looks back on when he gets better, and he will definitely be here in heart and in spirit. So thank you so much for coming and enjoying it.
I'd like to do this for the Facebook on 3. I want everybody to say aloha to John. Okay? Loud. 1, 2, 3. Aloha, John. We love you, man. Okay. Brandy Wright, Butch Huckasala, and Leonard Puglisi, get ready, please. Right now, I'd like Leonard Wayne and John Conway to come up, please. And Rob Mancini to come up.
Again, we've seen a miracle happen because obviously we just heard the good news that our dear friend John is going to continue to give us love and hugs and smiles. So obviously we want to keep doing what we're doing, and that's praying for him. You know, it was 4 years ago I was down at Henderson and we were having a get together, and John and I spent some time in the pool talking about what really matters in our life.
Table 14.
Take that shot.
Table 14.
Table 14. Table 14. Over.
Table 15. Table 14. Go eat.
Go get some food. Table 14. Come on now.
Would want to have a moment like that in your career.
So, what I'm going to emphasize?
Table 15. Go eat.
Table 15. Table 15. Your order's ready.
I'm sorry, Pastor. Table 14, 15 is.
Table 14. Get your food now.
Go eat. 15. Go eat.
15. Go eat.
16. Go eat.
16. Go eat. Come on now.
Please.
Please.
That's Kyoko's Shin. You're going to be nice to those guys. Kyoko's Shin lives.
You ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I also want to bring up something that is important. I want to give Professor Gary Lee some love for putting this little shindig together. I know it didn't take a snap of the fingers. It took a few efforts, huh? So let's give a little hand of applause for Professor Gary Lee. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Table 17.
Table 17.
Table 17, go eat.
Go eat.
Please.
Please. Come on now. Would someone show Mr. Pennington how to use the napkin? There you go. Thank you, Chuck. 23. Table 23. Go get some food. Come on now.
Wait.
You don't have to wait. Go. We're tired of waiting. Table 23. Table 23. What's your table, sir? Table 26. Table 20. Table 20. Get set. 21. Table 21. Would you please go eat? Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Table 18, go eat. Table 18.
Table 21. Go eat.
No. Leonard, be quiet.
Girls are going. We don't take their pictures.
We're all crazy. want to do?
Better than 18. Go eat. 1 second, your turn will come.
Table 7, go eat.
You made me lose count now. Table 18, go eat. Table 19, go eat. Table 20, go eat.
You know, people, I want you to know, sometimes a group like this needs to laugh a little bit. So let me share a couple with you, okay?
Everybody behind there go, okay, come on. Jesus Christ, I cannot handle these
Amen, brother. Amen. Table 21 on deck. On deck.
We'll call you out when we're ready for you.
You know, I was born in 1955. We were risk takers. We used to drink out of a garden hose. You imagine that, you know? And that new hose had that residue flavor, you know what I'm saying? Hell! We drove in pickup trucks with metal dashboards, no seat belts, lead-based paint all over the place. Hell, I ain't lead-based paint. I'm here. What are you talking about? Speaking of insanity, you ever notice they got a guy strapped down, going to give him a lethal injection? He was an alcohol swab. You really think germs matter to that son of a bitch? It's a lethal injection, for Christ's sakes. Anyway, okay, all right. Table 7, you can go eat now.
Hang on, Gary, do you need a hug? I know this can't have. Wait,
I'm still 21. Hold on.
We still love you.
Table 21.
Not yet, not yet.
Table 21, go for it. Be risk takers.
Not yet, wait.
Remember you sneak in and drive in, have like 9 or 10 guys in the trunk? Remember those days? Are you kidding me?
I can't believe I'm making Mr. Kervin wait.
What the hell's wrong with them? I said go eat. 21, go eat.
21, go eat.
You know, we were risk taking son of a, we had BB guns. Remember those BB guns? Hell, we didn't wear seatbelts.
21, you're up.
Perrier drinking pussies.
Yeah, eat.
What kind of world do we live in? Take a risk, get a garden hose. I can use another Red Bull.
I don't think he's ordained.
I want you guys to know, we're
Sorry, we're going to wait a little bit.
They wait much longer, there's going to be mutiny.
22, go eat.
22, go eat.
22, 23, go eat. 23.
Wheels are off right now.
Go eat 23. 23, your order's ready. Okay, I'm going to give you one more story about John. Oh, I can't tell you that one. He'd get upset. Okay. If there aren't any questions, if I went too fast, I'll slow down. Have you ever noticed the drive-in window at a bank has braille? I mean, who the hell's driving? They can't see. What the hell's that shit about?
24, go
braille.
eat. 24.
You're up.
I think you did well.
So I can't curse or anything right now? Is this on? Hey folks, just because I'm Irish and everybody's eating, nobody gets to listen to me. He did that on purpose. He wouldn't put me where... I can't eat this, Mike. This is as close as it's going to get.
25, go eat.
See what I mean? They just put us Irish guys in the middle of the lunch break. You know, they're like we're not special.
26, go eat.
You hear what I'm saying? They wouldn't put it down when everybody had the
John's on the phone? John's on the phone.
Take that mic away from him, please, sir.
I don't want to be the coach. He made the dodge. Just took you back to my side.
See what I have to put up with? Listen to Natividad. I am the snotty-nosed kid that's about to roast you. I love you, sir, and you remember what we talked about. Are you guys listening? This is Mr. Natividad talking to me. And you know what you always say? And you keep giggling, and you go, Jesus Christ, Johnny, you sound just like your dad. Well, I'm about to roast the shit out of you, brother. And I love you. And you know what they did? Just because I'm an Irish fella, they put me up while everybody's eating and nobody listening to me. You know how we do that? My dad had to deal with that. You know, they always put these Irish
Table 26.
back in the line. Look who I'm talking to right now. Listening to me, Dad, you know what? We don't care what they're going to do to us. We just keep getting up and we keep doing what we're doing, sir. And I got to tell you, there's a couple of things that I probably shouldn't bring up, or is there anything are you okay with everything that I bring up on you? Okay, I won't bring up the credit card deal. Oh, see, now we're partners again, brother. Because you know they just look down on the Irish. Look at them. They're all eating. Look at this. They're all eating. Nobody listening. So, Mr. Natividad, I am going to pick on you some horrible, and I would wish you weren't on the phone with me right now because you're going to embarrass me. No, I don't even want to talk to you, sir. You put me in the middle. All right. Mr. Natividad, we have Jerry Lee here. I'll put you on the phone. I love you, but I'm going to say some horrible stuff about you in a minute. And quit laughing and tell me I sound like my dad.
Hey, Brother John, how you doing? We love you so much. You're here in spirit. Everybody turned out. We did good, John.
Don't you start crying now. Jay-Z starts crying on me every time I bring up my birthday. And I love him. How you doing, sir?
Randy Wright, Wood, something o'clock, get ready.
Hey, listen,
music, get ready.
I'm about to turn you out, so if you don't mind, I'm going to want to switch this out because I'll start blushing on the shit that I'm going to bring up on your horse. And I love you dearly, sir. All right. I'll do the best I can, sir, and nothing but love and respect. I'm delighted to be here. Hang on, sir. Love you, sir.
He says hello, everybody. He's sorry he's not here, but he is sending his love to all.
Thank you, John. You got more?
Yes, sir. I would like to mention a couple of things. Am I still on this? A couple of things going back to my father. And by the way, Mr. Natividad is one of my peers.
Sal, you're the man.
And a wonderful, fantastic man, as we all know. Back in the day, my dad was one of the original people that put all of Temple karate through all of Europe. So there's nobody to this day that does not go back to my father, Tommy Jordan, Jim Rice, and Morris Mann. It doesn't happen. And the fella that brought it over there from Ed Parker was, help me out here, John McSweeney. And then he came back to the States and they continued. As we went on, my dad being a great innovator, putting out teams. He put a team together in Europe that was unheard of. And he took them, and I was just this size. took them to Madison Square Garden, took first place fighting the European team. Then my dad, thinking like he was, always thinking and always pushing the card, he asked Mr. Parker, one of my instructors, the only person that ever graded me, and in the 80s, put his fifth degree on me in the 80s. Asked Mr. Parker, do you think that we could put a team together? And by the way, there was a lot of other people. One of the greats was John Natividad. Amen. Tom Kelly. Benny, I can go on. Put this team together. Went over first time. My dad put that together. The head coach was a gentleman called Ed Parker. The person that paid for those uniforms was a gentleman called Elvis Presley. This was 1974. We went over, we fought Great Britain, whooped everybody, then we went to Belgium, fought everybody, then we came back, and Mr. Brock right here might know even more of the story, but time out.
Table 26
is here tonight.
Is everybody eating? Everybody eating?
Does anybody hear what I'm saying? So, not only did we win, that was the first time that ever happened. And then they got other people that are great martial artists, and there's so many here that have rolled and rolled. But my dad's been in heaven with my son since 1995. Mr. Parker's gone from 1990, and life rolls on. You guys might know me as all the World Championship. Oh, and by the way, we just won last Sunday, black belt fighting, black belt forms, black belt everything. However, I wouldn't have that if I didn't have all these great guys. I leave it at that, and nothing but love to everybody. Just know how wonderful Mr. Chokes me up.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. John Conway.
Mr. Natividad, hats off and love you, sir, and thank you for calling in and having a chat with me. Thank you, sir.
Rob Mancini, one of Mr. John Natividad's top students. Thank you, John. God bless you, buddy.
I'll give that back to you. You have it.
Good evening, aloha. So I went and saw Mr. Natividad today, and he was looking pretty good. He wanted to be here. He wanted to be here really badly, and he wanted to see everybody. He's been talking about this for months and months and months. All of his peers, all of his friends, all of his students. He sends his ohana aloha. And he wishes that he could be with us.
And he beat a guy named Terry Connor, who was a big guy.
When John passed out the other day in his car, he was on his way to pick up some trophies or awards, plaques for certain people. And when we didn't know where he was or what was going on, Nani called me. We found his car, thankfully, and I found the box of awards. So when I saw him this morning, he asked me if I could please present them for him and give you guys the honor that he wanted. So I've got a few things. I'm sorry it's going to take me a few minutes, but on behalf of Mr. Natividad, Grandmaster Natividad, I'm going to do this for him. I wish he could be here to present them to you, because I know it would mean a lot more to you coming from him.
James Woodson, please come forward. James Woodson, please come forward.
But he was just first. I said
table 26. No.
I was the moving band.
Does everybody eat? Okay. First off, John had a plaque made up. Gary, pay attention to me, please. Stop talking and pay attention to me. So John had a plaque made up, and this is a picture that I think I took this picture. Did you take it? In the Battle of Atlanta a couple years ago. And it's the Eternal Awards for the Hawaii Boys. And he wanted me to present this to Professor Gary. Thank
you. Wow. Mr. Corley gave us, Mr. Bill Wallace, and Mr. Jeff Smith gave John and I the Joe Louis Eternal Award. You know, we were talking John and I. You remember David? Yes. Skipper Mullins. We love Hawaii and America so much. We want to give and dedicate our award to all the Hawaiians who didn't make it to the mainland. And John and I were the couple of lucky guys. So thank you, John. We love you. Thank you so much.
Next, he had an award for some friends that I don't know if all of you know, but there's a few tables here. All of John's friends that he went to high school with that showed up here. His high school friends. This is aloha. Thank you so much all for getting here. He really wanted to be with all of you, and he had a picture taken a while back, and he wanted me to present this plaque to Joey. I don't see Joey. Is Joey here? Joey's not here. So, but this is for Joey. No, maybe I'll give it to you, and you can pass it on to him or Curtis, somebody. I would love to present that to you. It meant so much to John that all of his high school friends. There's a group of how many? No, 30, 25. Last night we saw them all at TGIF Friday. 17 of his high school friends traveled from all around the country to see John and honor John at this event. So thank you. While Nona's standing here, please stay here for just a second. Because while Nona's standing here, I would like all of you to know that tonight, this event would not have taken place if it wasn't for this lady. Gary got sick, and bless his heart, he couldn't do everything. Nona took the ball and ran with it and called Gary and said, "Here's what we got." And Tammy and Robin helped as well. Everybody pitched in, but Nona was here on the ground, boots on the ground, working to get this event happening. So thank you. I still have a couple more. I'm sorry. I'm taking. Okay. So next, I have an award or plaque, a recognition for a very, very dear friend of John's. Many years of training. A mentor for John, a dear friend, Mr. Bob Allegria. Bob was telling me tonight that he heard that John was at the trophy store when he passed out, and Bob, he was there getting one of these for you. So if you would please come up, please. Bob Allegria.
When they're great fighters, it's Balagaria.
There he is. Thank you, sir. Bob Alegria. Next I have another one I'd like to present. And this is a picture of Bob's brother Ralph, another dear friend of John's. And we lost several people in the last few years, and somebody that was dear to us and meant a lot to Mr. Natividad and John. And he wanted to present this to Mr. Michael Duvall. It's a picture of Ralph Alegria. Michael, come on up. Brother, this is for you. In honor of you and Paul.
Thank you, Rob.
Can I see it? Yeah. Can I see that?
Thank you, Mike. Michael's another grand champion, great fighter of our time.
Oh, that's great.
He's right there, Mike. See him.
That's the greatest.
So that is Pat Johnson on the end. Is that right? Pat Johnson and then Natividad. See which one is it? I don't know about the other ones.
You got it. That's all you got to know is those.
Natividad and you, the other two guys. I don't recognize them. That mustache man. At the very, very end, I think that's him. That's you.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah, no,
Michael Duvall. Thank you, Paul.
Hey, ma'am. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. I was in my home recovering from a stroke. I got a call from John. And John was kind of in tears. And he says, Gary, I'm going to do something, but I need permission. I said, what, John? What on earth are you crying for? He says, I want to give your son my fighting award. I said, John, you can't do that because he'll think it comes from me. And John says, no, I'm going to call him and tell him. Well, this year, my son, Garrett Lee, got the Joe Louis. How many people know who Joe Louis is? Got the Joe Louis Memorial Fighting Award. And also, from John, he's going to receive the John Natividad Fighting Award. Thank you, John.
No, I'm just saying, is that the one?
That's what he's saying. The plastic's so hard.
I know. He's usually good at naming names. So I was right, Pat Johnson, I got
I don't know who Paul Swin's got. I see everyone because it's standing between. It almost looks like that. Ralph is in there. See Ralph. We're standing next to Pat
Let me say something first. You know, I said, John, why would you do that for my son? There's so many other fighters out there. He said, well, Gary is carrying on the legacy of the white people. And I love you, John and Jim, for doing that. We've got one more prophecy.
Okay, I have one more presentation. I haven't done my roast. I didn't even get to roast my brother. But I have one more presentation. As those of you that, all of you here know John, and know Mr. Natividad is very respectful of the military, first responders, police, firefighters, and all of that. And we have a lot of our brothers and sisters in here that were in the military. So if you were in the military, you served in the military, if you're a first responder, a firefighter, or a police officer, stand up. We want to give you a hand. Stand up. Thank you. We have some guys that not only served in the military, but they were combat veterans, Purple Heart recipients, just wonderful human beings that sacrificed their life for us, and we love you guys. for your service, police officers, firefighters, and military. I have one more presentation from Mr. Natividad, and this gentleman has been with John Natividad and myself for many, many years, since he was a young boy. I think he was maybe 8 or 10 when he started with us, and he went off to fight in a war and came back, shot up, banged up, beat up, but a hero. And he came back and he trained with us, and he did all that he could, even though he'd been injured in battles and through his trials and tribulations in the war. And if I could get Mr. Jason Brooks, he can come forward, please.
I don't know who that
Jason's been, like I said, Jason's been with us for years and years and years, and we wanted to do something to honor Jason. Animal. So, Jason, on behalf of John Natividad, Kickboxing Karate Association, myself, Natividad Karate Las Vegas, we would honorably, gladly present you with your black belt certificate. Just like
Randy Wright, please come forward.
Thank you, sir. Love you.
Randy Wright, please come forward. Butch, hula dancers, and Linda on deck. Garrett Lee on deck.
Sir, that's my late wife.
Randy,
my late instructor. They were thoughtful enough to take that picture. I have no idea why they would do that. It's wonderful. Except I lost a couple of important people to the other.
Thank you, Rob. Ladies and gentlemen,
In front of a studio and
Rob loves you. We all love you. Everybody say, we love you, John. And we're on Facebook. We love you, John. Cool. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I happen to be lucky enough to hitchhike cross country 3 different times. And one of those times I actually stayed in Manhattan with Sensei Nakamura of Sensei. Before he went to Seisan, it was Kyokushin Kai. And then I was adopted, and I was very friendly with people like Donald Buck, and who was head of the American Kyokushin Kai group in America. Now we lost Donald, and tonight we're going to honor him and his son Fred and some of the Kyokushin Kai people. Starting out with Randy Wright performing her kata for you. Please show respect for this Kyokushin Kai animal.
I'd like to first recognize the band that got me here. That wants to run by. You can please stand. My name is Brandy Wright. I'm from Phoenix, Arizona. I train under Hanchi Fred Buck in Buck School the Tiger. Tonight, the kata that I would like to perform for you is Kung Fu.
Silence crowd. Silence this crowd.
I haven't seen you since the last I didn't recognize you. I didn't recognize you either. Still have it in there.
Miss Brandy Wright. Hey, Miss Linda Easy, please. Before Linda comes on, I want to share something with you. How many people know Keith Vitale in here? I won $1 from Keith because we went to Battle of Atlanta, and Keith bet me that Keith Weston, me, Gabe Renaga, I forgot some guy's name, I forgot his name. We couldn't silence the crowd with our kata, and Brendan just proved that you could silence the crowd with kata. Thank you, Brandy. Linda Pigisi. Ladies and gentlemen, this is one of the top women of all time. Kata and sponsored weapon. My friend Linda Pigisi. Wow, thank you, Linda. A surfboard. I feel I love to surf. I still do, guy my mouth. Thank you. This is very special. Thank you. Have fun now. Linda Pigisi. On deck, Butch.
Robbie D!
You guys come up here with me, okay? I'm lonely. Well, I like you, James. By the way, guys, this is James Woodson, one of the best fighters in Gilby Gym, and also the printer of the print shop of the awards tonight come from James. Ladies and gentlemen, this is George Beach, my co-host.
Honolulu and Hawaii.
And my other co-host, Mr. Jamie Cashin. Okay, Butch, are you ready? Okay. Butch took solid Garrett Lee on deck. Hula dancers after Garrett. Butch, whenever you're ready, sir.
Everybody listen to Turtle Sala. The one and only Samoan, our brother.
Aloha.
Aloha, brother.
You put blackjack yet? Garrett Lee.
Garrett, what are you doing?
Got a little traditional collar for you.
Tell them about that.
Silence that crowd, baby.
Gary, tell them about that belt he's wearing.
Oh, it's a white belt that turns black, just the opposite. And my son's, believe it or not, he's a lot more humbler than I am. But he says, Dad, I want a white belt that turns black. And we got that for him. He's been a black belt now for 20 years. He was the first person to test the Living Legends under Alice Singh, Linda Dinley, Skipper Mullins, Fred Red. I can go on. It was a legendary board. Give it up for Mr. Garrett Lee, black belt from Texas. Now, John, that was for you, honey. And this is for you, too. The whole damn place. For you, John. We love you.
Well, yeah.
We'll take some home for you, buddy.
Roy
boy named Chris Oakey. Anybody know the name Chris Oakey? Not too many people, but he was Chuck Norris's first black belt, okay? Very nice, wonderful gentleman. Bob Burrows, how about that guy? Jerry Taylor, how about that guy?
Yeah.
How about Vic Guerrero?
Yeah.
Yeah, how about Burbage? Yeah, how about Ken Bone? Where's Ken Bone? There he is. Okay, so those things that we did then, we just go in there and we'd all play. Mike Stone would be in the dojo, Joe Louis, Bob Burbage. All of the California boys would just go there on Wednesday night and just play. Uriquitas brothers, Arnold, all of us. We were in our teens, in our 20s. We'd go in there and the windows would fog up at midnight. We'd still be playing. And John Natividad was part of that. And for that, I just want to say this right now, is anybody who's sparred in a tournament for real with John, come up here. Get up here. Bob, get up here. Roy, get up here. Mitchell, get up here. Get up here. You stand right out there, gentlemen, or I'll kick your butts. Anybody else here? Anybody else here? Get over here. Don't be shy. This is a man's club right here. Yeah. This is a warrior's club right here. And if John was here right now, and he is in spirit, he would hug every one of these gentlemen here, because his spirit resides in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hearts as a warrior. Nothing on God's good earth can change the truth, because the truth will set you free. A righteous cause is what you're looking at right here. And I want to pray for John right now. Who wants to help me pray? Father, the great Spirit in heaven, on earth, in the universe, please take the great healing power that you have and give it, and let it reside on the shoulder of a wonderful man named John Natividad.
Yes, sir.
And let it bleed into his body and heal his body. And let it bring vibrant blood to the areas that it needs, so that he can continue his voyage on this planet to help others. And for that we thank you, Great Spirit. We thank you, God. And we want to make sure that you understand how we feel. So we're all going to say hallelujah to you right now. Ready, go. Hallelujah. One more time, hallelujah. Hallelujah. Bet your buttons, busters.
Thank you, Mr. Kermit. Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Kenneth. Thank you, Mike Dura. Michael Armstrong on deck. The blind swordsman on deck. Blind swordsman on deck. Okay, one second. Okay, we're going to play that in just a minute, please. We've got a saxophone player. Okay, before I bring up Mike Armstrong, I like this moment for Mr. Minshew to talk about his friend and my mentor, Mr. Joe Louis, a little bit. And I'd like to bring up Jerry Smith, Leonard Wayne, and Bernie Fleeman to come up forward, please.
I'm leaving in the morning, so I just want to come and say hello.
Come on, Joe. Bernie? Jeff? I mean Jeff. Jerry, Professor Smith, and Bernie and Leonard. The reason why I call these men up for is Bernie trained with Joe. Jerry Smith was one of his first black belts, and Leonard Wayne was just an animal. Thank you, guys.
Joe Louis, if you didn't know him and you're in martial arts, you know his name. And most of you know some of his history. And it was my great privilege to be able to know Joe from the very beginning of his time in martial arts until the end. And that journey that he made went from being an exceptional athlete performing exceptional technique on ordinary people to a man who transformed himself into an extraordinary teacher of men and women and children. He held seminars not only coast to coast but around the world. He was in demand in so many parts of the world. You would see posters when he would come, and those posters would literally be 20 feet tall, an image of Joe Louis. He produced not just outstanding martial artists, but outstanding men.
Okay, I'm going to put someone on the spot because I love him so much. Mr. Roy Kerman, please come up here, please. Mr. Kerman is from Texas, and I'm very lucky. I have Ed Daniels' black belt. I have Junior Reed's black belt. I have Jim Harris's black belt. I have Mike Stone's black belt. I have J. Pat Burns' black belt. But I just want Mr. Mitchell, Mr. Kerman, to be from Texas, be up here with me for a minute. Please stand next to these gentlemen, please. Mr. Judge Roy Kerman. Mr. Smith. Not Joe.
Well, I want to start by saying that there are so many people here. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to start by saying there's so many people here that I have respect for and that I care about, and some people that I hadn't met that I followed for 20 years tonight, that I got to meet tonight. But I'm going to talk a little bit about a belt that was given to me over 50 years ago. I've never worn any other belt but that belt. And that belt was given to me by Joe Louis. I was a young Marine stationed on Terminal Island, and was a naval investigator in the Marine Corps. And so I had a lot of time off because I didn't have to make muster. I could live on the beach. I slept on the beach. It means that I could sleep in the city, and I didn't have to make muster. And Bob Leonard introduced me to Joe Louis. And being young and silly, I walked up to Joe and said, Mr. Louis, would you teach me? I'd like to be a private student. And they had told Joe that they had this young crazy Marine that loved to fight. And Joe accepted me. Now this is at the time when Joe was a training partner with Bruce Lee. And at the time, he accepted me. Joe said, Jerry, I heard you like to fight, you're a good fighter. And he said, okay, I'll accept you as you're a Marine. We both started on Okinawa. He said, but, I said, well, how much are you going to charge me, Joe? He says, I'm going to charge you $50, but you'll charge $100 because at the time they were working on one of the Matt Helm movies, The Silencers, Wrecking Crew, that was it. And he said, come up to Nathaniel Brendan's in Laurel Canyon's house, and he said, I'll start teaching you. How much you going to charge me? I'm going to charge you $50. He goes, Joe, on Okinawa, we paid $5 gauge sensei, a carton of cigarettes, and a box of Tide washing powder. I said, $50 would be a year's worth of martial arts. He said, $50, yeah. Went up in Laurel Canyon. Took my first lesson with Joe. Joe said, and people always ask me, they go, what was the first thing that Joe taught you? The first thing that Joe taught me, took me to the kitchen and said, looked at my little scrawny body and made me a protein drink, and said, if you're gonna fight, you gotta think of yourself as a professional. You gotta start eating and building yourself up. So I gave him $50. Now, I studied with Joe Louis for at least, Joe said, Jerry, what I want you to do is whenever I have a seminar, plus Joe got me a school in Virginia. He says, whenever I have a seminar, I want you to come to the seminars. And it wasn't a written contract or anything, but I loved the guy, and I wanted to train. I gave Joe $50 and trained with him for 20 years. He never asked me for a single dime more than that $50. And it was just that, you know, I knew him up until the time he would call me. Now, Joe did something that was very interesting. I don't know whether it was by design or whether it was by mistake because he was sick, but he CC'd me, so any messages that he sent out, I got too. Any messages that he sent out, I got messages too. So I have all this information on Joe. Wedding pictures when he got married to Joy Mia, and I mean, just a lot of wonderful stuff. I haven't shared it with anyone because I don't want it cherry picked over. I called John Cochran and I said, John, I got all this stuff from Joe. What should I do with it? Should I write a book? He goes, yeah. I asked him, I said, are you going to write a book? Do you want this information? He said, no, I can't write that book. And anyway, this is the belt. It's just a rag now that Joe gave me. Joe went in his bag. He went, here, I always carry extra belt. You want my black belt? He threw it to me. It's just like that, by the way. And I've been carrying this around for 50 years. I'm going to present this belt to Professor Lee for the Martial Arts History Museum. Nothing but love.
Okay, my history with Joe goes back to when I was training in Shotokan with Kazuo Koriyama and Robert Halliburton. I had just met Bruce Lee at a cerebral palsy telethon. Joe came and did like one of the very first seminars. This is like around 1965. I was 14, you know, 115, 120 pounds. And so Joe was going to, you know, spar with all of the younger students, you know. And I had strength, but what wound up happening is anybody that's ever fought Joe Louis, they know that in the old days when he was at his peak, he'd reach out and grab your gi and sidekick you and rip the gi right off your back. And you know, so everybody started sparring. Joseph would have one come up after the other, and Joe would stop and do that initial forward foot step to go into that razor sidekick that he had, and everybody would like turn around and try to run out the front dojo door. And so when my turn came up, you know, we bowed, he stopped, reached out and grabbed my gi, and I threw my legs up over his arm, and he picked me all the way up off the ground, and I was punching across the top of my head, trying to hit him. And so he kind of, you know, shook me off, and he looked at me and he goes, "We're going to do more of this," you know. And from then on, I wound up moving from Fresno and going down to the Westward Sherman Oaks area. I lived in Torrance. And so I wound up with him training in his condo. We trained up on the sun deck. He had all these trophies, all these international trophies and everything else. But there was one thing in there, and he goes, I turned around and looked at it, and there's this huge table. And it's broken in half, laying in the middle of his living room. And he goes, you know what my best award is? And out of all this? And I go, no. He goes, it's that table right there. He goes, it was an unbreakable marble table, and I smacked it and broke it in half. So, you know, that is some of the levity with him. But as Jerry said, at my age, when I started training with him privately, my father, you know, he paid for some of the lessons first month or two. And then it was to where, you know, I couldn't pay anymore. And the same thing with me. From then on, any seminar he had, we wound up in Baltimore, we wound up on the East Coast when I was 17, and I didn't pay for anything. You know, he was a good man. You know, he knew who he was, and, you know, he put it out there, you know, and he would take on anything that came. A very, very good man. A lot of people didn't realize that he was so good and humble with people. But, you know, that's what I got to say about him. God bless him, rest his soul.
Okay, my 2 cents about Mr. Lewis is that on his deathbed, he called me, and Mr. Smith and Mr. Wallace was beside him. And please excuse my expression. This is Joe talking to me. Blankety blank, blankety blank. I know you little blankety blank. You're going to give an award in my name when I die, aren't you, blankety blank guy? I said, yes, sir, I am. He said, well, you better blankety blank make sure they're a good fighter, or I'm going to come down and jab slap you. I said, no, you won't, sir. You'll psyche me, sir. He said, I don't have hands. I said, no, sir, you got great hands, but you'll psyche me. He said, just make sure the guys you give it to are worth a blankety blank in the ring, or I will come down and jab slap you and psyche you, Jerry Lee. So I gave my word to Joe, and then we lost him. But every year, by the blessing of Jeff Smith, Bill Wallace, and Joe Corley, we get to honor him with the Dragon Image Fighting Award every year. And I'd like to present some of those awards to people right now that's in this group. The first person I'd like to award a fighting award to under Joe Lewis' name is my teammate, Mr. Jamie Transnew. Jamie, come forward. Next person I'd like to give a Joe Lewis Memorial Natural Fighting Award is, you're going to see perform in a minute, Mr. Dylan Vargas. I love that. Mr. Bob Animal Mitchell. Joe Lewis Award. Now, the only other great martial artist I've had an argument with is Mr. Chuck Norris, and to me, the second man is the second person. I didn't argue with him, I debated with him because he doesn't receive awards, but he certainly deserves it. One of the greatest fighters we ever had, Mr. Ron Marchini. Joe Lewis. Sorry, Rod. I had to do it. Give it up for Ron Marchini, guys. He stars in that movie, The New Gladiators. He's the one that bleeds in the movie. I made me laugh. Okay, Mr. Bernie Fleeman. The Dragon Image Joe Lewis Memorial Natural Fighting Award, Mr. Jerry Smith. My lucky teammate, my great teammate, Mr. Butch Tokusala. Great fighter. Joe, I hope you're proud. Don't come down and slap me, please. This fighter was the #1 fighter for 2 or 3 years in the United States Karate Association. He came all the way from Hawaii. Give it up for Dean Flem Evans. Dean, where'd you go, buddy? He's coming. There you go. Dean Evans, guys, Flynn. Winner of the International, so many times I lost count, Mr. David Broad. David's going to accept the award for his instructor, the first Kimbo guy to get an award from Mr. Lewis is Mr. Bob White. He's not here, but he's here in spirit. This man won the Kabuki Challenge, and he has something, I believe, that he's going to donate to the museum, but give it up for Mr. Ken Firestone from Hawaii. Joe Rosenberg. Okay. It's in the mail? Okay. Now, there's a story behind that towel. Ken won the Kabuki Challenge. The Hawaiians weren't ready for Ken Firestone, and Ken Firestone weren't ready for the Hawaiians without equipment. But he won. And Joshua Sanai, wherever you're at, Joshua, was my center referee. God bless you, Joshua. I love you. Now, Karen Collin Green, are you here, Karen? Karen, you're going to pick it up from Mr. Mike Diller, the owner of Century. Great fighter. Give it up to Mike. He's in Tokyo. He's here in spirit. Second for Mike. Okay, moving right along. The one and only, the first American to fight on the Korean team, as far as I know, Mr. Jim Buten. Now, Mr. Mitchell, you're going back. You're going to hate me because I can throw your name. I'm sorry. But the reason why they invented a red glove is because Mr. Mitchell was so fast with his backhand they couldn't see it, so they had to put on a red glove. Give it up for Mr. Jordan Mitchell, one of the great fighters. Now this man has been my mentor and my best friend for over 40 years. He invented a two-point kick with his Fort Worth Pro-Am. He was a great fighter. He's the star of the new Gladiator movie that I gave out, 100 of them yesterday. Mr. Kermit is not only a judge, but he works for the Tarrant County Sheriff's Department as the administrator. He was known as one of the first SWAT guys to kick down the door. He was a great fighter. Please give it up for Mr. Roy Kermit. A few years back, I called this man up, a fellow Kyokushinkai fighter, and I said, I need help. And he stepped forward, and he's been helping me every year, and he helps print up these beautiful awards. Give it up for the Dragon Image Joe Lewis Memorial Fighting Award goes to Mr. James Woodson. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your 2019 Joe Lewis Dragon Image Fighting Award winner. Give it up for him. Okay, we got one more award, and then I'm going to do, Nona. Get ready, Nona. You're on deck. And Michael, you're on deck. Okay, guys, you may be dismissed. Thank you so much. He's going to fill it out. Go through for you. Mr. Colonel Torres, if you come here, please. Colonel.
Joe Lewis. Joe Lewis wants it.
Guys, let's get a picture in a minute.
Joe Lewis walked out.
Colonel, come beside me. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we mentioned the military, but let me mention to you a Korean War veteran, Phil Torres. Colonel Phil Torres, give it up for him. Well, every year we honor the military. Every year at the museum, because in my heart, I either could have been a good lawyer, a good doctor, or a good military man, but I became an actor instead. Mr. Torres, the first one to give it to is Mr. Delahoy Godspeed. Mr. Godspeed, please come forward.
No way.
Okay. Your son, Mr. Woodson. Your son, Mr. Ashton G. Woodson. Master Sergeant Harold D. Robinson. He's not here tonight.
I followed you.
Colonel Craig M. Lightfoot's not here tonight. Hey, my military marine police, Linda Puglisi. Linda. Linda. I think she's changed her clothes. Linda, there you go. She was a military police while she was a Marine. Linda, look. Curtis McBumnet. Curtis McBumnet. Curtis, is that you? My pleasure, sir. Thank you for your service.
I watched it. That TV was like my
None of you recognize me.
Yeah, it was like
Okay, Mr. Jerry Smith. Professor Jerry Smith, Military Award.
I used that film.
Professor Jerry Smith. Military Award, sir.
I tried to express how from American songs, the professor was alive. I followed that.
Okay, at this time, I'd like Nona. Nona, come up and speak for your high school group. Ladies and gentlemen, get up for Colonel Bill Torres. Nona, everybody just Nona. She has helped me so much, helped me get Samstown. Nona, would you like somebody else to come up with you? Maybe Curtis. Okay, Curtis, come here, buddy. Nona, stay up there. I don't want you to go anywhere. Guys, I want to give a big shout out for Nona. Give it up for her, please. Curtis.
I got 5 minutes. I've known John. Look, this is gross. John and I went to high school. I first met him when I was 14 years old. We've been friends for 57 years. John, I think, is living off of some royalties or something. We grew up in post-war Germany. I was there in 58. I met John in 62. In 1962, he and I were on the same football team. I was a lineman and he played the backfield. Whenever anybody managed to get past our line, you turn around and you look, there were a lot of people laying on the ground except Johnny. And it wasn't always the other team. He just did everything that came his way. The royalties I'm talking about, I think he should be getting from American, what was that? Happy Days. Happy Days. Johnny had stock in Vitalis. That was for his hair. He had hair, and he was joke-proof. I swear, John Natividad, and what do we call John?
That's what.
Pineapple. And no disrespect to anybody. I won't say it. Not in today's world, but that's what we were. John and I had a little special kind of bond because in a school of 300, I don't think there were too many people that we were colorful. So, when John graduated from high school in 1964,
I'm just telling you, Dana Abbott has called me 4 or 5 times and is talking about him. Gary made a great choice. I wish I found a thing for Michael, but I'm going to let you go on. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for the white swordsman, Michael Armstrong. Yabi, 1 second, sir.
I'm the scope machine instructor, Fred Buck, and Mike's climbed. Mike's climbed Mount Kilimanjaro. He climbed halfway up Mount Everest. He walked the Arizona Trail. He took a tandem bike from New Mexico to California. He's the drummer in the band for this church and also the regular band. He's been fighting Kokushin for the last 30 years. And he's learned the samurai sword. He's my samurai sword sensei. And I mean, he's a mentor to me. Your voice. Back away.
Michael Armstrong.
Yes, you did. We know it's not
Ladies and gentlemen, we strive at the Sport Karate Museum looking for young talent and looking for the people who are the future of sport karate. This young man, Dylan Vargas, is one of those people. Please give it, show respect to Mr. Dylan Vargas.
Mr. Smith, Jerry Smith. Is Leslie here? Jerry, did Leslie come? Leslie. No. She's not here? Leslie's not here? Fine, come on. Okay, 1 second. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I have to do this. A lot of these seats up here, they didn't really put it the way I wanted to put it. Normally, I'm sitting here by myself with 10 empty seats, but they're not empty. I'm sitting beside me are Joe Lewis, Howard Jackson, Ted DeBurra, Roger Green, a lot of people, Sick Campbell. These are my friends who are gone, and they're my karate angels. Last year, I got to lose. Karen, where you at? Karen Green. Karen, I called you. Please, Karen Green. Drive out louder. Karen, please come forward. I lost Roger Green last year. I lost Terry Morris last year. I've lost Larry Kelly. Last year I lost a good friend. A friend of mine, I have a couple of people talk about him right now. He was the editor of MA Success, the winner of the first Editor's Choice Award in America on the Sport Karate Museum. And his partner is here tonight, who helped develop the Encyclopedia Blue Book. I'm talking about John Corcoran. We know him as Corky. So this time I'd like Mr. Emil Barkham to say something to his friend Corky and for all of us.
Thank you very much, unfortunately, John Corcoran, as many of you know, he's one of the top writers and magazine editors in the country. And we go back many, many years. We wrote, I think, almost a half a dozen books together. But I'll tell you a funny story, which I love about John. I used to follow him in Barracuda because he would stand up to anything. The first time I met John was in the early 80s. He happened to be living with Joe Lewis. And so we were starting to work on a book, and I went over to the apartment, and I walked in. And if all of you know Joe, Joe was a big, strong, hardy guy, and John was a little guy. And I walked in, and Joe and John are facing off each other. And John is yelling at Joe. Says, "You're crazy. You got to accept the deal." Joe says, "Don't talk to me like that." John says, "You're crazy." At that time, there was a man called Tom Tannenbaum, who was vice president of Universal Pictures, who happened to be Joe Lewis's student of Joe Lewis, and wanted to give Joe a 7-year Universal contract. And Joe, being who he is, he had other ideas. He didn't like the deal, and John just went at him like that. You got to accept it. He just fought for everything. And when we started writing together, John was relentless. Anybody would give him any flack. He would call up somebody and he wanted some information. John would go at him like you wouldn't believe it. And on top of it, what made John unique is the fact that once he started writing for the magazines, you actually had a real black belt martial artist writing stuff and writing about the people in the martial arts community. Because before that, Mito that had the magazine, most of the writers that he hired were just writers. All of a sudden, John came in, and what made John unique, he dug underneath. He just would write stuff. He wanted to know what really went on. And he gave people the opportunity to be presented in the magazines and gave everybody credit they deserved. And that's what made him unique. And you'll be sorely missed. I talked to him 2 weeks before. He said, "I'm going into the hospital." We were supposed to write a new book together. And all of a sudden, I think the news left, he's gone. And everybody will miss him because he was of great importance to the martial arts community.
I know there are a lot of pioneers here today, and deepest respect for you and a low bow for you. And in journalism and martial arts, John Corcoran would have been our pioneer. He was, like said, he was the first actual black belt editor of Black Belt magazine back in the early 70s when Black Belt magazine was just coming into being. He set the standard when it came to literary work. He was the first to hire professional writers, and he is someone that, he was a little eccentric. Am I making that up? No? Okay. I got to tell you a story of my own. When I met John, I knew him about 30 years. I was actually a TV reporter and anchor, and I was working for Fox News in Pittsburgh. And we were also working on a book deal and doing some magazine work in the way of getting columns. He's the one that started me as a columnist, and it worked well. I listened to his advice and ended up writing probably for every major martial arts magazine in the world over the last 20 years or so. But at that time at Fox News in Pittsburgh, it was a brand new TV station. And John has been known for his jacket collection. So he had some really different looking jackets. And one of them he had was this like white leather jacket with fringe all over it. And I remember thinking to myself, like, did Ric Flair have a yard sale or something? Because this thing was like World Wrestling Federation. It was so funny. But anyway, he loved that jacket. So when we were in Pittsburgh, and he's actually a Pittsburgh native, he said he was going to take me out to lunch before I went on the air. And it was a very stressful time because you had to prove yourself on TV. If it's a brand new station, you have to prove that, you can get the ratings and stuff. So he's here, I'm going to come up here and take you out to lunch. So he comes up and we go out to lunch, and he's wearing that jacket. And like everybody's turning around and staring at us. And it was like, it always made me smile. But he goes, Karen, my dear, you're already a star. Everybody's turning around and staring at you. They already know who you are. So that's Corky. He was a great friend of mine. I owe so much to him, and I really respect him. So I want to thank you for helping me honor him today.
It's me again. Listen, let me talk to you about my little Irish brother, John Conklin. John and I were the first two black belts to work at Black Belt magazine. John was first. He was a week before me, so he was the first. And let me explain to you. John was from Pittsburgh. I was from the bayous of Louisiana. I was a Gator baby. We were on a collision course, John and I. And John really, really wanted to be a writer. I mean, that was what his love was. And I didn't know this for 30 years when I moved to Vegas, because we both started the same week. Little did I know, John went to Black Belt magazine, talked to Mito Uehara, who was the owner of Black Belt magazine, talked him into an internship. John worked for 6 months without pay. I didn't work for 6 months without pay. I was hired when I got out of college. But anyway, I love this guy. And I want you to know something. We're very, very close. John had a tough life. Both of us started with less than zero. And he told me about his, coming, being raised as a kid. And it was something out of a Dickens novel. I couldn't believe how tough he had it. And I think martial arts was something that really saved him and gave him something to work for. So years later, after we met and moved to, and he moved to LA. About 20 years later, I moved to Vegas. And when I got to Who's Here, of my friend John Conklin. And he would come over to the house. He had a special seat. I'd have guys like Cliff Stewart, Danny Lopez, all these great fighters sitting around watching fights. John had a photographic memory. All you would have to do He would sit behind us at this little seat on the couch, like Judge John. Because we would be arguing what we thought. We thought this guy was better than that guy, whatever. And John would get the final say. All you'd have to do is say a name. He would tell you when the guy fought, where he was from, what he did. He was amazing that way. And they say that there are 3 stages of grief. First stage is disbelief. I'm still in that stage, by the way. It's been 4 months probably. The second stage is anger. And the third stage is acceptance. I haven't accepted it yet. I mean, I love this man. And once heard that the 2 greatest days in a man's life, man or woman's life, is the day that they were born and the day that they find out why. John Cochran knew why he was put here. He was one of the best martial art historians and writers in martial arts. I love John Cochran. Thank you.
At this time, the Sport Karate Museum and the History Journal would like to recognize the Editor's Choice Award with Ms. Karen Eden Herdman, Adam James, Mr. Ford, Adam James, Mr. Ford, and Mr. Emil Farkas for your hard work that we've done. And last but not least, in Corky's honor, the Editor's Choice Award to Mr. Adam James. Give it up for your editors, guys. Okay, moving right along. Thank you, guys. Now, I want to explain the reason why I spent so much time on the people that we've lost. Is go look around the room. Look around the room for a minute. Think of the people that are around next to you that you love, and they may not be here tomorrow. Think about it. You got to think about it. That's why we honor them before and after. John and Natividad, I thank you for allowing me to have that position to honor those guys. And I know you love them too. Thank you. Jimmy Captain, please come forward. Check it. Board, I give it to go back to Jamie. He's got something very special to do. Okay. One of my friends, and close person as history general, was Mr. Roger Green. He was on the first person to fight the Tracy King with Joe Lewis from Black Belt. His wife is here, Karen, and at this time, I would like to present Mike Diller with the very first Roger Green Memorial Dragon Award present to Karen to present to Mike. Give it up for Roger and Mike. The other person we'd like to honor is no longer here, we lost. And representing the Steve Fisher Karate Studio and studios and people, Ms. Jennifer Brandt. Please come forward. You're going to receive for Sharon here. Thanks. We also honor the first responders. You got to be quick about this, please. First responders. And we're coming our last roast before in a minute. First responders, EMT, police officers, firefighters, nurses, doctors, we love you guys. Well, this young man is my teammate. He's a Beverly Hills homicide detective. Give it up for Mr. Rodney Slorenzo. If Rodney didn't make it, somebody will receive the award. Rodney, are you here? Rodney, you make it?
I'm going to be the last guy to speak about John. I won't repeat anything.
Dr. Mike Gutter.
I didn't know there were only 3 people.
Mike? Gunter. Thank you for your work, sir. God bless you. My new friend and Gord Kerber's best friend, Mr. David McKellen. Surprise. Are you packing? I'm just kidding. Thank you for your service. The one and only Roy D. Kerben. Judge Roy D. Kerben. My best friend, Judge Roy D. Kerben. I'm sorry. Mr. Larry Davis. Mr. Larry Davis.
Larry, we're all over. Congratulations for your service, sir.
Mr. Jamie Gordon. Steve Gordon. Burning successful. Hey, this is going to be a hard one. John Ubetta. You're all retired police officers. Give it up for them, guys. Save your life. John Ubetta. Mr. Rick Fowler. Rick Fowler. Wow, I love this guy. Mr. Bernie W. Freeman. Okay. Now, a few years ago, Patrick McCarthy and Sid Campbell and Ken Knudsen and Mr. Lewis, Mr. Corley, a few others, Mike Stone, all said, Gary, we don't care what you think right now, you're still competing. We're going to create the history general to help you, support you, and make this museum a reality. And it's time, I'd like to
I've never seen anyone there else ever did. It was the first real Kimpo technique used. Yeah, I don't play. I really like him. He was a great
Okay, history general, please come forward quickly. Mr. Dean Clem Evans, my new history general. Give it up for him. Dean Evans. Mr. Bernie Freeman, history general. Guys, Mr. Emil Farkas, history general for the Sport Writing Museum. Ms. Karen Eden Herdman, history general. Karen, make me walk, honey. I love this guy. Mr. John Conway. History General Linda Pugizzi. Linda. Linda, where'd you go? You hiding? Lonnie, you don't look like Linda. The oldest competitor in sport karate, Lonnie Walker. Give it up. He's 82. History General, Mr. David Brock. History General, one of my favorite guys, Frederick S. Buck. History General. History General, my buddy from Hawaii, Paul Artenio. Paul Artenio. Leonard, did you get back yet? Leonard Wayne, did you get back yet? Okay, Leonard, get it later. Leonard, you left. You can't bring it back. Okay. Dino Haynes. Larry Staples. Rob Mancini, my new history general. The one and only Bernie Pop Krasnew, history general. Bernie Pop. Colonel Phil Torres, history general. We love you, John. We love you, John Natividad. I love you, Pops. History General, Kenneth Hara. Kenneth. Cindy, Kenneth and Cindy, where you at? Or Cindy, where's Cindy? I ain't gonna give it to you unless Cindy's with you. Cindy was a bad little fighter. You were too, kids, but I want Cindy up there too. Did you, what do you have? Cindy Hara and Kenneth Hara. What a pair. The one and only Johnny Elvis Foster, History General. Johnny, Johnny. Take care of business. Mr. Hepburn had to go. Bye-bye, I love you. Mr. Hepburn had to go home with his wife. She was sick last night. And Al Hepburn, give it up for him. My dear friend, who supplied the movies for all you guys had, Mr. Don Warner, History General. Don, go. Don Warner. Don Warner, you leave? Don Patrick McCarthy. Patrick McCarthy, will you receive it for Don? Patrick, me too? Okay. Sammy Pace, one of the great fighters. Sammy Pace. Come on, guys. Come on, Sammy. You've been faster. The one and only. The only guy that gave me goosebumps when I watched Ukata. One of the best kata guys in the 70s. Mr. Chuck Merriman. History General. Hey, Sammy. Hey, Sammy. Chuck Merriman. Chuck Merriman, guys. Give it up for Mr. Merriman. History General, Mr. Jerry Smith. History General, Mr. Patrick McCarthy. History General, Mr. Tom Schlesinger. Tom. Tom, did you leave? Tom Schlesinger. Casey Jones. Casey Jones. Casey, where you at, buddy? Kim Kahana, my new history general. Come on, Kim, hurry up. Mr. John Orsby, history general, one of the great promoters. John Orsby. John? Come on, John. Mouse, where you at? Mouse. History General. Mouse Transmitted Black by History General. At this time, Butch, where you at, Butch? Butch. Hey guys, I'm moving as fast as I can, I'm sorry. Butch.
Take your time, Gary. I don't leave till tomorrow, brother.
Hey guys, let me have your attention, please. A couple weeks ago, we lost my Uncle Max. Uncle Max Tokasala. And he was supposed to be here tonight, and he was going to become a history journal. But his family and Butch is going to accept it for him. Robin Chocolate, please come forward. Robin Chocolate, come forward. Robin, just come, Robin. God, what's wrong with you? Here, Kim. Surprise. Professional maximizer, Michelle Black, Mouse. Professional maximizer, Jennifer Mercurio. Jennifer Mercurio. Jennifer Mercurio. Okay, Karen Green. Karen Green, professional maximizer. Karen. Karen, where'd you go, honey? Okay. Carol Peretti, Johnny Murphy's sidekick. Carol Peretti. Lindy Pugizzi. Linda Pugizzi. Jennifer Woodson. Jennifer, right. Come on, guys. Got one more roster. It's Kermit, you're on deck. Mr. Kermit. Mr. Roy Kermit, you're on, sir. Okay, Rosie John Natividad. Kilby Chin guys are next.
You're going to love this because I am not going to speak long. You're going to really love it.
Right now.
For those of you that can hear or care to listen to, I'm going to talk about John Natividad from a fighter's perspective because that's how I met him. Truly great martial artist. For those of us that knew John and got to train with him and fight with him, he was one of a kind. That's all there is to it. I met John in 1971 at the Sherman Oaks School, the Chuck Norris School. I'd left the United States Army and had processed out at Fort Lewis and flew down for a big team championship in LA. Mike Stone threw it at the Elks Lodge. There were 10 great teams there. Well, I went to the Sherman Oaks School to warm up before the competition, and I see this guy in a plastic sweatsuit with ankle weights on and ankle weights on his wrist, throwing kicks and punches. Very intense young man. And so I came in there and stretched out and warmed up and worked out. And I asked him, I introduced myself, he introduced himself. I said, man, you're getting quite a workout here. I said, are you a black belt? And he said, well, yes, I made my black belt 2 weeks ago. And I said, man, that's great. You're really training hard. He says, yes, I'm fighting in the team championship. Now, I didn't say this, but I thought, you're a dead man. Brand new black belt and the best black belts coming in to fight. Well, to everybody for a moment, let's suspend belief. It's 1971. We're at the Elks Lodge in Long Beach. All these great teams are there. And here's John Natividad on the Chuck Norris team. Bob Allegri is there, Ralph Allegri. Tremendous team of black belts out there to fight. So John comes up and I meet a guy named Steve Fisher. Steve's a new black belt too, and we're talking. And I said, what about this guy, John Natividad? He said, he wins everything in a brown belt here. And I said, I think he's going to be a dead man today. And Steve says, I don't know. So John, luck of the draw, draws Joe Louis. He beats Joe Louis 5-0. Then he draws Victor Moore, USKA Grand Champion, 5-0 Victor Moore. And then he drew Fred Wren, United States middleweight and Grand Champion, and beat Fred 5-0. And someone mentioned it before, he was called John the Giant Killer, and that was a term well deserved. When you saw him out of the ring, you would never know he was a fighter. He was so nice, he was a genuine person, he was just tremendous to be around. But when he got in the ring, he was beautiful to watch. All right, the following year, Mike Stone did another team tournament. John Natividad was back. I was there with Jim Buten the second time in a row. We were on a team together, and John draws Jeff Smith. And Jeff was a killer. Jeff did not throw anything easy. It was kick, punch, and we all looked up. I was talking to Steve Fisher, and I said, Steve, I think John's a dead man. And we all thought that. Well, they bowed in, and John just sat in a perfect stance. And the minute Jeff charged, he threw a perfect inverted punch, caught Jeff in mid-step, and Jeff dropped and could not get up. He caught him right in the solar plexus. None of us could believe it because we'd all picked it to go the other way. But suffice it to say, John believed that's exactly the way the fight was going to go. And that was his career. That's the way he lived his life. He was positive. He was always a joy to be around. And if the only time I was ever on a team that won with John Natividad, we were on the same team. So my advice was, if you want to be on a winning team, be sure John Natividad's on your team. But to all the people that went to high school with him, to his friends, the people that came so far to see him, God bless all of you. And I'm glad John was a part of my life. And the last thing I would say is, all the people I've been visiting with today, Ron Marchini and Jim Butin and all the karate people that fought at that day and time that I had the pleasure to see today, all the BKF guys that were here, there was a spirit in the day. I just don't see it anymore, but maybe it's because we're old and we can't see it. But we sure had a wonderful time together. We grew old together. And God bless all of you. Have a safe trip home, and thank you for your patience. A long evening. God bless John Natividad. God bless John.
But before we leave real quick, you know, guys, if it wasn't for Gary Lee, our history would be dead. So it's real important that we understand that. He doesn't get a lot of money out of this. So if we could do one thing that doesn't cost money, but it demonstrates our heart, that he's not seen before, but I did this for my instructor, Grandmaster J. Pat Burleson, a couple of weeks ago, and it's called the 1 minute applause. So if y'all could please stand up, and for 1 minute, let's focus on Professor Gary Lee and give him an applause that he deserves, very much so. And I'm going to give you a 30-second marker. In 30 seconds, we got to make it loud, we got to make it important. It's Professor Gary Lee. Let's start it right now. Let's go, guys. Y'all give a big hand. Keep it going. Keep it going. Keep it going. Keep it going. Let's go. Let him feel it. Let him feel it. Let him feel it. Let him feel it. We've got 25 seconds. 25 seconds. Let's pour it on. We love you, buddy. Seconds. 10 seconds. Thank y'all very much. And if I can end it, some of y'all have heard me say this before, but to Mr. Natividad, I would say this, that the meaning of life is to find your gift, but the purpose of life is to give that gift away. Mr. Natividad, that's what you've done. God bless you, sir. We love you. Thank you so much.
Nick Rubio, please come forward. We're almost out of here, guys. Nick Rubio, please come forward. Kyoki's guy lives. Here we go. Fred Cook, come up here, please. Quickly. Ken Sickles, come forward.
I'm freezing.
Armando M. Kappa, come forward. Calvin Hertzog, my friend. Calvin. Anderson Kyoki Sakai lives. Brandon Lee Wright. Michael Armstrong. Michael Armstrong. Joshua Senai. Joshua Senai. Randy. Jim Butcher. Terry Sands.
Bobby Love, Senator Bobby Love. He's your Senator Bobby. Bobby Love, your Senator. Last Senator Bobby.
Dad and R&B, Donald Love.
Guys, remember there's a time change tonight. 2 o'clock, set back an hour. Just in case, extra hour of drinking for you. And don't miss your flights.
Hey guys, we're almost done. Don't leave yet. Please.
We've got the knee to toe beauty contest coming up. We've only got a few more awards. And we're going to get you to come up here and you're going to model and win a watch and a certificate.
The knees to toe beauty contest. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are competing in the knees to toe beauty contest, come on up front. We got one. That is the ugliest toe I've ever seen.
Hey everybody, we're not done yet. Please, I worked hard on this for a year. Please, not yet.
The knees to toe beauty contest.
We got dragon watches that you went to the winners.
And they're not regular dragon watches.
Sexiest legs, hairiest legs, and these are Jack Tub Toe. Come on, come forward.
Yeah, you definitely kicked a lot of people, sir.
One person with the watch. Come on, guys, I want your legs.
Oh, that's 2. Just the widest legs right there. Wow.
Michael, here's another award for you, buddy. Another award. Okay,
Mr. Bueller, you don't only competitive. I believe it.
Okay, guys. Are you that scared to show your legs? Let's get up here and have some fun. Come on. Come on, girls. Let's go. Let's see those legs.
I think we should have a line of shots out of it while we do.
Is Jim going to take it all? Y'all are going to give him some competition? Come on. Let's see your knees.
I've never seen, like, Jim's second toe is, like, freakishly long.
Come on, guys. It's a lot of fun. All you have to do is come up here and get paid.
I think at least at a minimum you should come up and look at Jim's toes. No wonder he had a good psychic. I read your book.
Come on, y'all. Let's see those legs. Anybody else? Come on, y'all. We've got 5 places. So at least 5 people have to get up here.
Grand prize, $5,000 donation to the
Are y'all that chicken? I'm calling you out. Come on. Come on up.
What? For pride.
Let me show you how it's done, okay?
We're looking at who has the best looking legs of all these partners. Legs and legs. Ron Mancini. Yes, it is co-ed. Absolutely. Absolutely. Come on up front. Don't wait. Do it now. With that black belt mentality. Take the opportunity and seize it. Carpe diem. Come on. Peer pressure. Have you been drinking? That's the reason why you're not moving.
Here we go. Most jacked up toes winner. Jacked up toes.
Jim, I think you got a problem.
Vote for number one.
Yes, number one.
You lost my vote, Jim.
Let's see it. Model those legs.
Come on, Butch. Pull it up. You're in good company. I got my butcher also.
Okay, who's next? Go ahead, Butch. Woo!
Oh. All right.
Go ahead, your turn.
I forgot someone did that at the last one, pulled the muscle. I swear I did.
Okay, Phil, go ahead, let's see it. Woo! What's that?
I don't think anybody wants to say anything because he's a Marine.
All right. Who's next? Come on, show your stuff. There you go.
Jim, you're going to have to work it.
One more. Here we go. Woo! All right.
That's at least 3 drinks, right?
Here you go. Let's see it.
Show that me.
We got some sexy knees too, right?
You look like you've got kicked a couple times. High kicks after.
Anybody else want to get up here? Come on, I got some more numbers. We want to see those legs. Hold them up.
This is really happening. This is so awesome.
Here we go.
Put the tie around.
Whoa.
Oh.
That might be jacked up, all right.
All right. Beauty is in the high of the heel.
Steve Cooper, yes, Steve. Steve Cooper, please.
Well, we still haven't had 3 and 1.
Where's Daniel at?
Steve Cooper. Steve, where you at, Steve? Before Leone passed away, I asked the Christian to give out a Mahalo Award in honor of my friend Miss Ed Parker. And we gave it to quite a few people, but this year it gives Miss Steve Cooper.
You said you're supposed to show off your legs. Yeah, your feet too. Go ahead and keep drinking. It's okay. It's okay. It'll be all right.
Steve,
Yeah, he does have ugly toes. I swear to God. It's like, ooh, maybe that's pretty bad.
Good speed.
But a close second.
Good
Come on.
speed.
Let's go.
Good speed.
Let's go.
Okay, we got a winner up here, Tammy.
No, we haven't seen the other 2 yet. Especially Miss Butin needs to come out here and show us those toes. I wish we could put it on the big screen or something.
Warren Goodspeed.
One of those legs are shaved.
Warren Goodspeed.
Sarah looks like you had to shave your
ladies
head.
yet? Linda.
You may go back in line, sir. Yes.
Linda.
Please. Pretty please. Well, I had to at least say he was
Okay,
gonna.
here we go. For the sexiest knees.
Number 3.
Turn your numbers up so I can see your numbers. Okay, for the sexiest knees, we have number 7. For the sexiest legs, we have number 5. For the jacked up toes, we have number 1.
You want
First, second, and third.
For the hairiest ladies, we have number 2. And for the last one, we have the cutest chicken legs, number 3.
So this was the one that everybody got a trophy? Is that one of those competitions?
Sexiest legs was number 5.
Testing. We love you, John Natividad. We'll be up front when people get awards. Thank you. God bless everybody. She needs to realize this.
Thank you all for participating in our
We got a video to play everybody.
And we're going to play a video. We're ready for the video. If you want, you can get a watch from Gary at the front. Gary, you got watches for you?
Yes, I do.
See everybody.
Hey guys, so I made a movie for John Natividad. He helped me get the gold medal for the United States.
Oh, I thought you wanted
It's
me
about
to
an 8-minute movie. I worked a whole year on this movie, so if you guys can stay around and watch it, it's only 8 minutes. It's a documentary about his fight with Benny the Jet. So if you guys can watch it, it's only 8 minutes. We're gonna play it. We're gonna turn off all the lights so you guys can watch it. So please gather around and go next to the screen. So please gather around. This is for John Natividad. He helped me produce many champions. So if you guys can stay just for an 8-minute movie, it would be great.
Glad to see you again, Leonard. Take care, buddy. God bless you, man.
Hello, everyone. This is Robin Shockley with Focus Forward Robin on the Go. You never know where I'm going to be. I'm here at the Jamestown Casino Hall and Hotel at the banquet room, and I'm here with Mr. Ken Gage.
You have to restart and say Jamestown.
Jamestown. Oh my goodness, Jamestown. Let me tell you. I don't know. Okay. So, just letting you know, there may be some quirks going on. There's people moving around. We got the buffet table getting ready to be set up. We got music playing, the saxophone. It's going to be amazing tonight. But this gentleman is so amazing because we got to chatting, and he was telling me a little bit about his story. So I'm going to give you just a moment to go on live video on social media. Tell your story, why you're here, but also let's go back a little bit because there's a purpose in your cause because you literally have a pain to purpose story.
This is true.
Okay, so talk up loud so people can hear you.
Hi, I'm Ken Gage with Gage Martial Arts. We've been around a couple of years. A lot of the schools know us around the country. We're international now. We're here at this event. We're basically offering wholesale prices to schools and businesses, uniforms, patches, from uniforms. My history is I came back with a juvenile disability.
Okay.
As I got older, my disability did get worse.
Okay.
I turned it into a positive by starting Gage Martial Arts so I could still be a part of martial arts.
All right.
I hold a second degree in Taekwondo and I hold a
But
third
let's
in
talk.
Temple Karate.
But honestly, tell a little bit about from when you were young.
Oh,
Let's talk about that because I am all about that pit to purpose story. And this gentleman started telling me within 60 seconds, he told me his life story from the beginning. I want to hear what happened to you in the very beginning of your life.
I grew up with a disability where I had leg braces like Forrest Gump. Kids pick on you, tease, spit on you. I mean, they really was really rude. And as I got into martial arts, I learned enough to be able to defend myself to the point I had to prove to people how crippled I was. So with that, I turned it in. I met Chuck Norris. He actually turned it into a positive for me that I needed to do what I can. I may not be able to do everything in martial arts, but do what I can. And I ended up meeting an instructor, Master Hadar, 6th degree black belt in Taekwondo.
he believed in me, and he said that, look, you may not be able to go spar or compete, but you could become a great instructor. And that's the direction he took me. And now I'm with Edward Chavez, Dennis Canaster, John Conway. I love
it. And so you've taken your fit to purpose story and you made life with that. And what is so amazing to me, guys, those that are watching this gentleman here, literally, he could have just gave up. He could have just not pursued. But he had somebody like Chuck Norris speak a word of positivity into his life to believe into him that he could accomplish anything. Even he could not be able to go and do the fighting and the competition the way that he wanted to, but he could instruct people. So what he did, he got under the leadership of somebody very well known. What was the name again?
Master Haydar.
Master Haydar?
Dennis Canaster, John Conway, and then
And
Edward Chavez.
so this is very big, guys. So if you are on a mission and you realize that maybe there's been some roadblocks in your life and you can't accomplish everything that you set your mind out to do, take this man's example to learn that you can accomplish anything you set your mind to do. You can't do it in the way that you think you can do it, but you can do it in the way that's best for you. And in your case, you have created this awesome business where you travel all around and you actually got your business in other countries like Chile. That is amazing. Puerto Rico. This is awesome, Mr. Ken. I'm so proud of you, and it's such an honor and such a pleasure to be able to meet you. This is Robin Shockley with Focus Forward, Robin on the Go. You never know where I'm going to be. Remember, if you think a thing, you will believe a thing. If you believe a thing, you're going to achieve it, just like Mr. Ken's doing here today.
See it.
Awesome. Hi everybody, this is Robin Shockley with Focus Forward, Robin on the Go. But I'm telling you, right now I am here in Las Vegas, Nevada with Professor Gary Lee, my dad, and he actually has a card with his signature that he's about to put on this card. And this is so special because, guys, this guy's amazing. This guy is a legend in the field of martial arts. If you know anything about Professor Gary Lee, he is all about building people. He's all about encouraging somebody to be something else. He recognizes those of the past to present to those of the future. And I'm so excited that I actually get a personalized autograph from Professor Gary Lee himself. Oh my gosh, now what did you write?
To Robin, my love, Professor Gary Lee.
Oh, how sweet is that? Guys, this is a joke, you know that. But it's really personal for me because I love him so much and I'm so very, very proud. And I want the world to know, my followers to know how special that you are to me.
Well, thank you.
And I am so proud of you for all the achievements that you've done over the years. And you used to tell me years ago, Robin, you were never an accident.
Well, I got a buffet for you because you like to eat.
I like to talk too. All right, guys, we're going to sign off now. We're getting ready. We got to go get dressed. Well, you're dressed. I got to go get dressed and get my dress on so we can present the Professional Maximizer Awards tonight. Y'all have a blessed day. Bye.
Mr. Black Dragon Fighting.